ประกาศค่ะ
ครับกราบเท้าท่านอาจารย์ครับ
Good morning อาจารย์
สวัสดี
Ramesh
ค่ะ
here
เชิญเริ่มเลยนะคะ
ครับPrakash Achan has said
Yes.
let's start. Yeah. Do you have anything to ask to a topic you want to discuss?
You continue discuss on one aspect as Ajahn always advises us. Can we understand little more on seeing?
Good. ท่านอาจารย์
คุณสุขิน
Prakash
ช่วยแปลเป็นดีแล้วค่ะแปลเป็นภาษาไทยให้คนไทยได้
ครั
ท
บ
ราบ
ครับครับผมก็ถามประกาศว่ามีคำถามหรือมีเรื่องที่อยากจะสนทนาไหมประกาศก็จำคำพูดของท่านอาจารย์ได้ว่าเวลาสนทนากันเวลาศึกษากันศึกษาทีละคำให้เข้าใจดีก็เลยคิดถึงเรื่องเห็นแล้วก็อยากจะเข้าใจเรื่องเห็นครับท่านอาจารย์
ค่ะถ้าไม่อยากเข้าใจเรื่องเห็นเลยค่ะ
or seeing Prakash, you're interested at this moment to understand seeing.
Yes.
Achan,
Yes.
Achan has just asked, why seeing?
Why are you
See,
interested in seeing
seeing presently is there, and not there is not much understanding. Always it is I am seeing or I am seeing something.
ดี
So
มากดีมาก very very good because that should be understanding of what is there which hasn't been understood at all คินจะแปลไหมคะ
yes.
ได้ครับท่านอาจารย์เอ่อท่านอาจารย์ถามประกาศว่าทำไมถึงสนใจเรื่องเห็นอยากจะเข้าใจเห็นประกาศก็ตอบว่าเป็นเพราะว่าเวลานี้มีเห็นแล้วก็มีเห็นอยู่ตลอดแล้วก็ไม่มีความเข้าใจแล้วก็มีแต่คิดว่ามีแต่เห็นผิดว่าเราเห็นเพราะฉะนั้นอยากจะฟังเรื่องเห็นเพื่อเข้าใจความจริงของเห็นท่านอาจารย์ก็ฟังแล้วปลื้มปิติบอกว่าเป็นความเข้าใจที่ดีแล้วก็ควรจะเป็นอย่างนี้นี่ควรจะเป็นเหตุผลของการศึกษาครับท่านอาจารย์
This is the wise one who always think and find out what is there because it's there without any understanding.
Also, Ajahn, whatever we discuss, other than what is there now, it will be just either story or trying to figure out. Again, it will be someone trying to figure
And
out.
yeah,
So it is always better to understand it more on Dhamma now better rather discussing anything else.
right. Very, very wise to know that what is there is so real. Why not understanding it? So in
ประ
life,
กาศ
what ค่ะ
ป
เช่น
ระกาศเขาเอ่อสรุปว่าที่ควรจะฟังเรื่องเห็นที่มีอยู่ตอนนี้เพราะว่าก็มีแต่เห็นที่เข้าใจได้เห็นสิ่งและเข้าใจก็คือสิ่งที่ปรากฏตอนนี้ไม่งั้นไปพูดเรื่องอื่นนี้ก็เป็นสิ่งที่เข้าใจไม่ได้แล้วเราก็มักจะคิดด้วยความไม่รู้ก็คือนั่นไม่ได้เป็นการศึกษาท่านอาจารย์ก็เห็นด้วยว่าเป็นความเข้าใจของคุณประกาศเองที่ถูกต้อง
it seems so subtle, so very deep, because it's there in life. No understanding of the truth of it at all. That's why how deep it is and how subtle it is.
So Prakash Kanachan is further helping us to understand why
Yeah,
seeing
I think
should
ให้
be
คุณ
the
สุขิน
object of
ค่ะคุณสุขินจะแปลให้คนไทยหรือเปล่าเพราะดิฉันพูดไปแล้ว
ครับครับเข้าใจครับแต่ว่าผมก็อยากจะให้ประกาศนี่มั่นใจว่าที่ท่านอาจารย์เอ่อที่เพิ่มเติมเรื่องการว่าธรรมะลึกซึ้งแล้วก็ละเอียดมากเอ่อตรงนี้ว่าเพราะที่เราศึกษาก็เพราะว่าธรรมะลึกซึ้งมากแล้วก็ฟังไปเท่าไหร่ก็ยังไม่เข้าใจอยากจะเพิ่มเติมตรงนี้ให้อากาศประกาศฟังอีกหน่อยครับท่านอาจาร
ค่ะ
ย์
ถ้างั้นเราก็ไม่ต้องพูดภาษาไทยก็ได้นะคะเผื่อคนไทยที่เข้าใจแล้วได้ไม่เสียเวลานะคะ
ครับครับครับเพ
ดีไหม
ราะว่า
คะ
เดี๋ยวมันจะไม่ต่อเนื่องแล้วก็กลับไปกลับมาผมก็ไม่รู้บางทีผมก็ไม่ลืมตัวด้วยว่าจะแปลตรงไหนครับ
how
so
deep it
Prakash
is yeah
the reason Ajahn what just Ajahn added is that we know at our level of understanding how little understanding there is but understanding of what of the truth of seeing and how much understanding of seeing and how little we understand of seeing this also we know need to know about the nature of seeing that it's because seeing is very deep very subtle and how little we understand reflects the depth and subtleness of that reality to be studied and where regarding which understanding needs to grow more and more very slowly and it's going to take a very very long time to understand.
even one
Mm.
tries so hard to think about it to consider it but it's beyond anyone's expectation or understanding at all that's why it has to be listen to the one we don't know yet who really understand the truth and that person we have the word for enlightened one, the Buddha, Samma Sambuddho. That's why if there's no understanding of each word of the Buddha, how can there be understanding the truth of seeing right now or other reality in life? Is that true?
Yes, Ajahn.
So now we begin again and again and again to listen to the truth of seeing and learn to understand it. Why it's so very subtle to understanding it. Okay, now that is
Yes, Ajahn.
seeing. That
Mm.
is seeing for sure.
Mm.
So, what does it see when it's seeing? It sees what?
It sees the object, visible object.
But even that object is not known as it is. Is
Yes,
that right? It's taken
yes.
for something all the time in life.
Mm.
This person or that person or everything taken for
Mm.
the moment of seeing. So that's why listen carefully. The nature of seeing. It's not that which does not experience. Seeing is not that which does not experience, right?
Yes.
Seeing sees, it means that seeing experiences what is seen, only what is seen. So now what is seen is appearing.
Mm.
Different color in truth. Just what we take for color, red or blue or yellow or white, is seen, but without the reality which sees it. Can it be seen?
No.
Even a moment in life is not known. And how many moments in life, different ones from moment to moment, can be known. That's why be true to the truth. When it's clear understanding, it has to understand just one moment. And what is that in a moment? The moment of seeing, that is seeing and that which is seen. There are more than that. What appears is only that which is seen. So the world is covered up, not understanding what is seen as it's just only that which can be seen. Begin to understand. how much ignorance of each moment in life. But the
Prakash,
enlightened one, yes,
yes, sorry, Kanta. Prakash, you understand when Achan said there is more than that, but what appears is what needs to be studied and talked about. You understand this part?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good.
how do you
Thank you,
know?
Chan.
How do you know
Please
that?
continue.
How do you know that they are more than just seeing and that which is seen?
Because there is no real understanding the way it is.
Without the teachings of Buddha, what
Yes.
conditions seeing to arise? Who knows at all? Even just one moment, one reality is not known. So, how much the accumulation of ignorance of what appears from time to time, life to life, years to years, cannot be known at all. That's why we talk about seeing, because it's there to really understand the truth of it. Is seeing someone?
No.
So, what is it? It's a reality which arises to see by
Mm.
by conditions only. Without that which impinge on the eye base, there can never be seeing. And without the eye base, we used to say the eye, the eye, the eye. But we think about just only the white and black eyes which appears. But in truth, that is not the eye base or the eye sense, which the visible object or that which is seen now impinge on it. See? That's why we have to learn the truth little by little, to let go ignorance and attachment to that which is not permanent at all. Because who knows, this moment of seeing is not just a previous moment, never be the same, because there are hearing and sound in between, right?
Yes.
That's why the seeing right now is not the seeing just a moment ago at all. Who knows? That's why be true to the truth in order to let go ignorance and attachment to that which appears by nimitta, the mark or the sign of something known all the time. That's why learn to understand just one reality, to have more and more understanding of the truth which has been covered up all the time by ignorance. So it's true to talk about seeing again and again and again, to understand that how ignorance of seeing, even it's there all day, is not known until there can be wise consideration of seeing little by little until it appears as it is. But without the very keen and very strong and very sharp right understanding, it cannot be known at once right now, because right understanding is not strong enough, it's not keen enough. That's why khanti, patience to understand it. The truth of seeing can be realized because it's there. When there's a little more attention, a little more considering about the seeing, on and on, little by little, it can be very sharp to realize the nature of seeing. But it cannot be just I who sees, but what can realize the truth. It needs more reality. Like we use the word sati, but what is it? It's not just a word. It must be a reality. What is real in life is Dhamma. It's real. It has its own characteristic, its own function. and its own object too. That's why we learn about the truth taught by the Enlightenment to consider whether it's true or not until the truth is, well, enrooted little by little, not to change to think that it is I who see, or someone see, or a dog see, or a cat see. Just learn about Dhamma, because without realizing the Dhamma, that will not be Samma Sambuddha. So who's the Samma Sambuddha? The one who realized the truth of everything, every reality in the world, in the universes, beyond anyone's wisdom, uncompared. Nobody can compare his wisdom to the Buddha because they just talk about that, which is not from realization of the truth. But Buddha taught about the truth because of the realization of the truth, that seeing is conditioned to arise. Otherwise, nothing can arise at all. But even so, we keep on talking about seeing again and again. But what is the nature of seeing? Little by little, understanding that there must be, there must be a reality which experiences the object. Otherwise, nothing can appear at all. The world cannot appear without the reality which experiences the world, right? But
Yes, yeah.
but what is taken for the world is just in truth one moment of what is there, arising, experience, and that which is experienced gone. But so rapidly condition the next one, on, instantly, unknown how many moments of experiencing what is there just at moment of seeing. And in life, there is not just seeing, there are so many, many realities. That's why learn to understand the truth, the ultimate truth, little by little, to let go ignorance and wrong understanding and attachment to that wrong understanding as I or something in life, from birth to death, life to life, on and on. So very, very enormous wrong understanding and ignorance and attachment. Is it true? That's why
Yes, yes.
without the words of the enlightenment, no one can think or can consider and can learn to be true to the truth, to develop the understanding of that which would appear, no matter it's seeing or that which is seen. Or in life, there's not just seeing, there are hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, liking, disliking, remembering, feeling, on and on. All of them without the teachings of the enlightened one. Nobody knows the truth. That's why learn to understand the truth of what is there. Because what is there now appearing is so true, so real. That's why it can be object of studying, of understanding, because it's there, right there now, seeing. So seeing is not that which is seen, and seeing sees. So it's a reality which experience an object. So the world is under the reality which experiences the object. Without that reality which arises and experiences the object, there cannot be the world or anything at all. See? So now, learn to understand. Is there prakash or there is seeing? See? Is there prakash or there is hearing? Is there
Oh,
thinking? Is thinking prakash Thinking is thinking. Can this moment be learned, be studied to realize the truth of each different reality? Because they are different ones, conditioned by different conditions. That's why it takes quite a long, long time to be effort enough to not just take it easy or not have no moment of to be interested in understanding the teachings. So people are different. Some are interested to understand the truth, and some does not mind at all. No matter the world goes on, they just live the way they like. That's all. But the one who has accumulated hearing, considering about the truth, can see that the most precious moment in life is understanding the truth of life each moment. See, it's not easy to understand seeing, but seeing is a reality which experiences the object. If it hasn't a reason, there cannot be anything experienced, no world, no universes, nothing at all. But there are conditions for whatever arises, and each one is conditioned to arise. Nothing can arise out of the blue. There must be conditions no matter what. Appearing, it has a reason, so it can appear. But to be truthful to the truth, what appears now? Begin to understand Satya, the ultimate truth. What appears now?
Yeah, it is always something or somebody.
But it's seeing that sees it. Somebody is seen, something is seen, is that right?
Yeah, that is how it is appearing. Yeah.
But in truth, nothing can be someone or something. Just
Mm.
a moment of experiencing an object. It cannot be anything at all. No river, no tree, no one. Because seeing just right to see only that which impinges on the eye base.
Mm.
How tiny it is, how rapidly arising and falling away. Because condition seeing to arise to see, that's all. As soon as it see, it's gone, never to rise again. In this life and in samsara, only once in samsara, never be the same, by conditions too. So understand the impermanence of life, of each moment, can get rid, or even it's not get rid yet. Begin to see the world as it is, to have confidence. It's just the way Dhamma is, not I, no me. It's there from moment when it's there, on and on and on and on. No one can stop it. And the moment of less and less attachment to the idea of I or something, it conditions just a release or relief. Not I, not anyone. It's just the way it is. The way the tree grows, the way the river flows, the way the Dhamma, which experiences, is conditioned to arise to experience. That's all. Better than cling to wrong understanding of people and things, while after death, never be this person anymore at all. So to be this person only just in this life, from birth to death. And As soon as the first moment of life, the birth consciousness gone, it conditions the next moment instantly by way of its nature of paccaya. Even the reality which arises and experiences is also paccaya too, to condition the other reality instantly. That's why we begin to study about paccaya of the reality which experiences the object. It has the paccaya condition the next moment as soon as it's gone. Anantara paccaya, non-stop, from moment to moment. So what is there each moment is by paccaya conditioned. So we learn to understand so very little about realities. Buddha taught for 45 years about what is there from head to toe in life, the world, and so on. So seeing now, have confidence. It's not that which is seen. It's not that which is hard or soft or smell, because it arises and see, which means it experiences an object. So there must be a reality which arises to experience the object. And now, seeing the proof of what is heard, there must be the reality which arises by conditions to experience an object. So the world is that which experiences the object, and the object is also the object of the world. So we study Dhamma any moment because there is seeing any moment, and there is that which is seen any moment. Otherwise, it's not study Dhamma, no truth, no reality to be realized, to be studied, that it's there, not anyone at all. Seeing is a reality so subtle, no thought about it, no interest, no attention to it, until hearing about seeing. It's the beginning to understand the truth and the way to realize that which arises in false way instantly. Now, see, always now, always everyday life. Otherwise, nothing can be known, nothing can be understood. And if there's no understanding of the truth of seeing, can there be the understanding of life or anything? Impossible. Because no matter what is taken for this or that, no matter in science or in medical subject or anything at all, it has to be the reality which experiences the object and the reality which cannot experience the object. Only two kinds of Dhamma. No one begin to develop the understanding of the truth. No one, no thing, not atta, but anatta, not anyone, not anything at all. So now, without hearing and considering, can anyone just rush to experience this? Seeing is not so. Impossible. So there's no method, there's no meditation center to try to experience and to attain Nibbana, no understanding of what is there at all. That's why, after his enlightenment, Buddha said, Dhamma is so very subtle, very deep, but it can be learned and it can be realized. Is that true?
Yes, Ajahn.
So now, a little more understanding of seeing, to be true to it, that it's a reality which arises to see only, not to hear, not to think, That's why there are so many kinds of the reality which arises and experience the object in a day. No one at all. So we learn little by little what is there as it is. Attachment is not aversion. So no matter what, it's Dhamma. One experience the object and the other one cannot experience the object, any object at all. This is the beginning of the parami conditions to realize the truth by Panya Parami. Without Panya Parami, the other reality cannot be conditioned to realize the truth. Akusala, the unwholesome reality, ignorance, attachment, aversion, and so on, cannot understand the truth because of ignorance of the truth that is not there. Conditioned attachment to that which has gone unknown, keeping thinking that it's still there. So it's not I from birth, not I or me from head to toe, only that which is conditioned to arise and fall away. Is that true? And that's
Sajan.
the word. And that's the word of the enlightenment, the first round of the Four Noble Truths. And the first truth, dukkha, Arya Satya, it cannot be seen without right understanding. So when it's not the moment of realizing that which is there now, falls away and arise and falls away, how can there be such understanding of that dukkha, the Satya Dhamma? Nothing is permanent. As soon as it arises, it falls away instantly. And it can be realized, but not by the first round of Riya Satya. It has to be the second round and the third round. Pariyatti, Patipatti, and Pativeda. Learn to understand the truth, which is so very subtle, not just the word. Pariyatti is study Dhamma, not just only that. What is Dhamma? And what is moment of studying it? See, not just read and remember the word, but understand the truth of a reality at that very moment. Each moment is Dhamma. So no matter what moment can be understood, can be realized, not by ignorance, but by right understanding of its nature, little by little. Is there any question?
Yeah, Ajan, you mentioned each moment there is Dhamma, right understand of its nature. On this, I want to hear a little more. Seeing is uh, there, but it is not realized yet. Um, Similarly, hearing or other also. Here, the study at this moment means what? One is it is not I am seeing it. One second one is I am not seeing something
Oh,
material. That is a one way of understanding Dhamma right now. But that is also consideration and the intellectual understanding.
it has to be your own understanding
Mm.
by listening, considering carefully. For example, what is real is Dhamma, and now seeing is real. So seeing is a Dhamma. the Dhamma which arises to experience the object. See, without it, can there be any world, or can be even just a world? Impossible. Nothing appears because there's no reality which experiences it. So how can it appear? Without seeing, visible object cannot appear. Even its condition to arise and fall away from moment to moment. But if there's no seeing which sees it, it cannot appear. But when there is a reality which sees it, it's there, arising and falling away as well. Nothing is permanent. That's why I study Dhamma until it's so very, very firm confidence of the truth. If this is not true, if this is not true, what is true? So the truth is what is there, appearing, visible object, and without the seeing, it cannot appear, because only a reality which arises and sees it or experiences it, so it appears to that reality which sees it. Thinking cannot see visible object, right?
Yes.
Hearing cannot see visible object, only a reality. One reality which arises and sees now, sees it. There are so many different reality which arises and experience the object, but only one kind of reality which arises to see can see what is now appearing. Only that. Can Panya see it?
No.
Panya understand it, but Panya does not see it, but experience the object which is seen, which is heard, which is smelled, which appears. That's right. If we don't study about the truth of each moment, how can there be the understanding of the nature of life? Life is only that which experiences the object. Without that which arises and experiences the object, there cannot be life at all. The tree, the sand, the wind, it's not life. It cannot experience. It is conditioned to arise to be hard or soft, smell or taste, and then gone. See? So the most power reality is that which arises and experiences the object. Citta, the chief of experiencing the object. Because there are many realities which arise and experience the object, but not as the one which is the chief of experiencing the object. That's why there is the word Buddha used for it is citta. And there are other words too, like vinyana, mana, mano, hataya, and so on. Because citta is conditioned to be different by the vara, by object, or by many, many conditions. That's why there are the words to understand the difference between citta at different moments. That's why I learn to understand life, learn to understand the world, learn to understand the truth that nothing is permanent. It's just by condition, not by anyone at all or anyone's will. Because in truth, there is no one. There are only conditions for reality, different ones to arise and fall away, on and on and on. Is that true?
Yes.
And ignorance and attachment cling to that as I. No one there, but the experiencing and the object condition the idea I see. Instead of seeing sees. Without seeing, where's the I? And can there be I who sees without seeing? That's why learn to be true to the truth. Satya Barami is the most important Barami. If one is not be true to the truth, it's impossible to realize the truth. That's why in all lives of the Buddha to be the Bodhisattva, sometimes there can be some kinds of akusala, but never say lie. Be true to the truth from the very beginning. Otherwise, it is distorted. It cannot be true to the truth. How can it understand the truth or realize the truth? That's why all dhammas are anatta, not atta, not I, not you, not anyone or anything at all. And Buddha taught about how many kinds of nama dhamma, the reality, the dhamma, which arises to experience the object. And rupa dhamma, how many kinds of rupa dhamma, conditioned by kamma, by utu, by citta, or by ahara, see, not by anyone or not at will, not out of the blue. Dhamma is dhamma. Wrong understanding is there because of ignorance. No understanding that what is there is just so very short. As soon as it has risen, it's gone instantly. So be true to the truth, firmer and firmer and firmer, to condition moment, to attend to one reality at a time as it is. The seeing is not that which is seen. So no one, not anything at all. And this is Dhamma. So study Dhamma is study what is there now appearing. Otherwise, it's just the word remembered, recited, and forgotten. So now, how long will it take to realize the nature of seeing as seeing? See, because now it seems like there are many, many things seeing, hearing, thinking, considering, attachment, and so on. But in truth, only one moment, one object, one reality which experience it. Dhamma, all dhammas are anatta. So we can learn more, a little more about the words of the truth to let go ignorance and attachment and wrong understanding, taking it for something atta, until all dhammas are anatta, not me, not anyone. It's the only way to end the way it is, just arises and falls away non-stop by conditions. Otherwise, does anyone understand who's the Buddha?
No.
See, that's why be true to the truth, not just say respect the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, without any understanding of the truth at all. How can there be respectation? Is there any question? Is
Yeah. Ajahn,
yeah.
there is so much accumulation where they're not truthful to the truth.
So learn to be true to the truth. Otherwise, ignorance is there with attachment, cling to that so firmly, so sticky, without very sharp and keen and clear and strong understanding. Nothing can wear away ignorance and attachment, which is there in each citta. From moment to moment, pass it on and on to the other moment. How long? How much? How firm? See, that's why listening to the truth, considering the truth, is just like that which interrupts the flood of ignorance and attachment from moment to moment. So
And Prakash, what is the way to be truthful to the truth?
Um, One is be truthful what appears now, right now, here and now, and that can accumulate to be truthful to truth, which accumulates again and again.
And what do you mean by be truthful to the truth that appears now?
Um there is a consideration of there is a seeing, but there is no understanding of seeing. That is the truthful to the truth. An example.
Hmm. So you mean the way is to understand
Mm.
and understand at the level that we can understand the three rounds of understanding. That is the way to be truthful to the truth. Just
Mm.
understand what appears.
Mm. I just another thing you mentioned which really stuck for thinking is there are only two things. One experiences the object, and another
Your sound is not coming clearly. Can you repeat? Your voice is not coming correctly.
there must be some internet issue. Let me know when you're able to hear me now. Can you able to hear me
No, it's breaking. It's breaking. Your voice is breaking.
now? Okay, how about now?
Now is good. Now is good.
Okay. Um, there are two reality. One experiences something, and one reality does not experience anything, irrespective of whatever name we call it or name we say it. Um, that really stuck in my thinking.
And it's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether we know it or not, the Buddha taught it or not,
Hmm.
the truth is the truth. That there are two kinds of realities. One which knows, which arises when it arises, must experience something, and another one which arises and falls away also, but cannot experience anything. That's the
Hmm.
truth.
Hmm. The next question for me, Ajan mentioned about nature of seeing, understand the nature of seeing. Can we discuss a little more on that? What exactly is the meaning of nature of seeing?
Panichan, Prakash is asking about seeing. He wants to hear more about seeing. And when you keep repeating, or he hears about the nature of seeing, he wants to understand what it means.
there is seeing right now.
Hmm.
Does it
Yes.
see? Does it see?
Yeah, it sees.
So it's the nature of a reality which arises to see. Its nature, its characteristic, its function, its
Hmm.
condition by its proper conditions. The I and that which impinge on the I cannot condition the other moment, the other reality. See, how can it arise without conditions, without the eye base, the blind one cannot see, nothing can impinge on because there's no eye sense or eye base. That's why the nature, the true nature, the characteristic of that, whatever is real, the reality of it is its nature. So the nature
Have
of
you
how,
heard, Prakash, have you heard the word sabhava?
I heard but don't remember the meaning.
Hmm. Sabhava refers to the state, the nature of the particular reality.
Hmm. You mean seeing nature is to see, hearing nature is to hear. Is it the one? Oh.
Yeah, that's the function. We can talk about the function. We can talk in terms of characteristic. We can talk in terms of its proximate cause, its particular cause. That means, for example, seeing depends on the eye, and hearing depends on the ear, and things like that to understand fully about what seeing is and different from hearing. So there are many aspects that we can understand about the one reality to understand its nature. We can put it that way.
Okay. So there are conditions to see, different conditions come together the to see seeing to happen. So to be understood that little bit, that is the nature of seeing also.
For seeing to arise, there must be I. So
Mm,
that is one aspect of seeing that needs to be understood.
mm,
But the I is not the seeing. They're two different realities. This is
mm.
also need to be understood. The characteristic of I is not the characteristic of seeing. The characteristic of visible object is not the characteristic of I or the characteristic of seeing. These are all three different realities.
Mm,
So they depend on each other.
mm,
So one is the characteristic, like I said, one is the function. By way of function, they're all different. And proximate cause also different. The I depends on the other rupas conditioning it and conditioned by karma in the past. The seeing depends on the karma, but does not depend on the other rupas. But it depends on the chetasikas. So different realities have different conditions.
mm. So it means seeing as it got functions, like seeing is only the thing that is a function, and it has
See,
got its own
yeah,
proximate properties.
seeing is a function. Yeah, seeing is a function. Hearing is a function.
Yes, and what is the meaning of characteristic? You said that
Uh,
asking the thing. Yeah.
it is that which sees, that which is seeing now.
Hmm.
It is this particular. It is not hearing. The function is to see. Is that particular function? The characteristic is this. Uh, Actually, I would like to hear Tanachan also talk about this because then there's also manifestation. So Tanachan, can you say a little about the difference between the function of seeing, the characteristic of seeing, the manifestation of seeing, for example?
to me, I think that as long as there's not clear and firm understanding of a reality. No matter we talk about it so long, so very different, but can there be the understanding just to be remembered? But now let's study Dhamma, the characteristic, the nature of that. Because when we use the word nature, what does it mean? It cannot change. It has to be pure as it cannot be anything else at all. That's why when we talk about a reality which experiences the object, we learn to understand from the very beginning, is there such a reality? Is there such reality which experience the object? For example, hardness, the cushion, the water, can it experience anything?
No.
So there must be another reality different from the reality which cannot experience the object. For example, seeing. It's not hard, it's not soft, it's not sweet, it's not sound, but it arises to see, to hear, to think, see, experiences an object. Otherwise, there's no world at all. Beginning to have firm confidence of the truth, of the Dhamma. It's there. It cannot be anything or anyone at all. But who knows that it's there, not anyone or anything? Because the way it appears does not appear as it is, as just that which is there, arising and falling away so very rapidly. That's why there must be the firm confidence of Dhamma to let go. The doubt about whether is this Dhamma or is that Dhamma? Is there any doubt now? Whether is it Dhamma?
Yeah, Ajan, when you say the firm confidence of seeing, uh, is that seeing cannot be changed. The reality of seeing is to experience the object. That is a firm confidence, you mean, right?
So now, it's not my way of speech, but consider the truth.
Mm.
See, a dog, a cat, a baby, an old man, Deva, seeing is seeing. Seeing cannot be a snake. Seeing cannot
Mm.
be a cat. Is there seeing?
Yeah, same for
See,
same.
there is seeing, so it's firm. There is
Mm.
seeing. It means that there is a reality which sees. So we call it, we name it seeing. But it is a reality, sees. It's a reality, hears. It's a reality, touch. See, we learn about the truth of life, which is covered up. No word about the truth. So how can it be known? Who has such understanding that seeing is not that which is seen? No thought about it at all. No thought about seeing.
Panichan, is this one aspect of the subtlety of Dhamma that, for example, we hear about seeing and we do not even know that it's a reality? And so to understand its characteristic is, uh, the characteristic is very subtle. Um, seeing being seeing, hearing being hearing, this difference is subtle also. Because that's the way it is, and in reference to our understanding, we do not even know that seeing and hearing are realities. So we cannot know that what is the characteristic of seeing? What is the characteristic of hearing? Is this one aspect of the subtlety of Dhamma?
It's so easy to say, to know. Seeing is not that which is seen. Who does not know? But the
Yes, that's the
understanding,
point. There is no
the under,
understanding because it's
but the
subtle.
understanding, but the understanding of seeing is not there at all. That's why we learn to have firm confidence of Dhamma, no matter by way of Khanda, no matter by way of Dhatu, no matter by way of Ayatana, to understand Dhamma as Dhamma, because it's so very, very deep. It's covered up years and years ago, because the arising and falling away so very rapidly condition the shape, the form, the idea of something by such shape and form, and like it or dislike it without understanding that it's not there anymore. That's why learn to have confidence of Dhamma, so there can be a little more understanding of what is learned as Dhamma. Not just it's not me, it's not you, it's not anyone at all, but to understand, not to follow the word. For example, seeing is not me. Just say that. It's not difficult to think, but to realize the truth, how deep I see is that from birth, and not just in this life, from life to life, years and years ago. So how can there be the very, very keen understanding, the difference between seeing and that which is seen, and learn to understand that seeing cannot be changed to be that which is seen. Learn to understand Dhamma and the nature. See, the nature means that cannot be changed at all. Its nature, its pure nature, its true nature, its real nature is the characteristic, the nature of it, the nature of dislike or anger or aversion. Can it be changed to be nice, to be attachment, to be other thing? Pleasant feeling on and on? Impossible. So we learn to understand Dhamma deeper, firmer, to understand no matter what word we talk about, hearing, liking, pride, prejudice, and so on. What is real is Dhamma. To
So Thanachan,
understand.
is it then that much of the time when we think we understand that seeing is not that which is seen, for example, it is still I who understands.
No understand of seeing as just seeing yet. Because it's still I see, no matter we say, seeing is not I. But at moment of seeing, it's I.
But there must be some little bit understanding in between also. Otherwise,
And
uh,
if we just talk
like for
about it, yeah.
for
And if we
example,
just
like Prakash today showed an interest in understanding seeing. Without some understanding, there wouldn't be this interest, isn't it, Thanachan?
Prakash just listened not long time ago. What about the person who listened to the Dhamma long, long time ago? Still have doubt and not clear
Yes, yes, yes.
understanding of seeing.
And just now we were talking about how it's so easy to misunderstand that there is understanding. And so listening long time misunderstanding that there is understanding is actually accumulating more self.
That's why I learn to be true to the truth. Satya Bharani. How much understanding of what we say, Dhamma, how much understanding of its Nama Dhamma, how much understanding of the word its Rupa Dhamma, not understanding the nature of each reality, but just remember that they are different by different condition and so on. Understand the story about the ayatana, what's the meaning of khanda, different from ayatana, and so on. But what about seeing right now? When will it be gradually learned to understand the nature of it as it's just the reality which experiences the object, and only one object, only that which is seen. Learn to be true to the truth of no one, anatta, not atta, because what is there falls away, gone instantly, never to arise again in samsara, because it's arise by condition. So this moment condition is not the previous condition for seeing, previous moment. That's why learn to have understanding, not just remembering and reciting, but understand how deep it is, how subtle it is, how long before Buddha realized the Nama Rupa Parichetayana, straight to the Samma Sambuddha. All depends on conditions. But the difference of the three rounds must be the first round is not the second round of the Ariya Satya and not the third round. And if we don't think or talk about it on and on, anytime, to have firm confidence of that which experiences the object, it's not that which is experienced. How can there be the understanding of the different moment, different conditions, arising and falling away? It's just the idea. But learn to understand what is there right now, so close, not far away, from head to toe. That's why learn to understand clearer, firmer about the truth. In order to realize the nature of it, the third round, because of the second round conditioned by the first round. Otherwise, it is forgotten, like any story, any subject.
Ajahn Sukhin, may I ask a question in here related to this?
Please do.
Ajahn, just listening to you just in this past while with Sukhin, it seems that there are many times, when we're studying Dhamma, that we think we understand something, only to learn that we really don't, that it's much more subtle than we think it is, and that this happens time after time. We may think there's some understanding of something, and there may be a degree of understanding, for instance, at the pariyatti level, but that it's so subtle, the development of more understanding, that we're frequently in a situation of realizing, okay, I thought I got this, I thought I understood it, but it's much more subtle. Much more subtle than I had thought, and that's because the understanding isn't as great as one thinks it was. I don't know. So Kim, do you pick up on that at all? Is that what we were?
Yeah. And I was just thinking about the extent of ignorance and attachment.
Mm-hmm.
It's so great that it would be not realistic to expect that in a Dhamma discussion, that's not going to arise so often. In fact, it arises almost all the time, like
all the time.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So even attachment, we know attachment attaches to everything. So it will be attached to the idea of understanding also.
My
right?
understanding.
My understand, right, all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about being distracted. That's everyone knows that, being distracted
Yeah.
to other topics all the time, other things.
Yeah. No, that's not the same.
But also when we are listening intently, and we think there's interest, wholesome interest, but no, the interest is at that time conditioned by attachment and ignorance.
My thinking on that is yes, it often is, but for understanding to grow, there must be some understanding.
Yeah, in between it comes in. It's so rare.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
I think. That's what happens in between.
Yeah.
The understanding happens. It comes in between the flood of ignorance and attachment.
Yes. Yes. And those are not moments that we can directly know have arisen. But
No,
again, it's
yeah,
again the inference. Yeah.
yeah. Again, in inference. See, even when you brought up this question, I was thinking that when you said that we realize how little understanding is after hearing something from Thanachan, it's still by inference, isn't it?
Yes.
You compare.
Yes. Yes.
It's still by. It's not at that moment. There's the realization
Exactly.
of the ignorance.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
That's why now we understand what is meant by parami. Only one moment, and then one moment, from moment to moment. How many moments compared to those moments of ignorance and attachment in a day? And
Yes.
that is such a parami. So true. It's not easy, it's so deep, because just the word, without considering carefully how much understanding of Dhamma, because Dhamma does not appear as it is. It's covered up eons and eons, how many eons ago, and just listen to it. How can there be such very deep understanding of the truth? That's why we learn to understand. It's not difficult to think that there are two different kinds of Dhamma. One experiences the object, the other one cannot. Is that enough to let go?
No.
I see. I like now. That's why just study one word at a time of the truth. When there is the very keen or clear or strong understanding of one reality, no doubt about the other, exactly the same. So very subtle. So even that which is seen is subtle, just aspect of that which is seen at moment of impinging on the eye base.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing is conditioned to arise. And when we say condition is conditioned to arise, we think just only the eye base and the visible object only, but more than that, much more than that. Without the reality which arise together, which perform their functions to assist the moment of seeing, there can never be seeing. And there are two kinds of seeing. One experiences just only the present object by conditions, and the other, no matter one can try to change it, it's already conditioned to experience the unpleasant object. How come to be different moment, different objects to seeing? See? That's why learn to let go the idea of self, which is so very deep. That's why there must be 3 rounds of Ariya Satya, understanding, therefore noble truth, Dhamma, Satya Dhamma, Ariya Satya Dhamma, the first round, no doubt. about why it is such a Dhamma, the nature of seeing, the nature of hardness, different natures. And what is meant by nature? That cannot be changed at all. It's nature to be such only. Hard is hard, never change to be smell. And is smell hard? Not at all. Smell is smell. It cannot be hardness at all. Different reality. And the main difference is the reality which is conditioned to arise to experience. No one can make it at all. No one knows how there be such moment by how many conditions. We learn to understand one by one, a little more, to be two and three, little by little, to have more confidence of no one. Dhamma. This is the most important thing. No matter how much we learn, we read the Tipitaka, can remember it, recite it, but no understanding of just even one reality. It's just remembering, hearing, that's all. Because the truth is so very, very subtle. Thinking, considering about a reality, only one reality. Is it not real? That which arises and experiences. Is there such a reality? Otherwise, the world does not appear at all. And when we think about it, consider it, it does not have any shape or form or color or smell. It's just the nama, the reality. No shape, no form, no rupa together. The rupa nama is not the nama dhamma, and the nama dhamma is not the rupa. Even they arise together, but they cannot be the same nature at all. So learn to understand the truth. Study Dhamma is studied now, little by little, because even from head to toe, no thought about the reality which experiences the object, the seeing, and that which is seen. So without understanding the study Dhamma is study that which appears little by little, right now. And consider truth, and consider the truth little by little. Where's the world? Without that, from head to toe, the reality which experiences, which see at the eye base, and where's the eye base? So close. So what is the world? Thinking after seeing so close, the innermost, because no thought about the reality which experiences the object. Just think about that which is experienced, that which is seen, that which is heard in a day. And the innermost is so innermost because when one thinks about the sound and the sight and the smell and the taste, no thought about the reality which experiences those objects at all. So it just learn about there is seeing, there is nama, there is rupa, that's not enough. But understanding the second round directly after hearing, no doubt about the differences between the reality which experiences. Nothing can arise with it at all. No smell, not any rupa. Consider what can it be without rupa? Only the nature of experiencing arise to see, to hear, by conditions, and there's so many, many different conditions. Just learn to understand the differences between Dhamma, the Nama and the Rupa, from the very beginning. And the third round, what is realized, just like now. But right understanding is so sharp and so keen and so deep that it can understand just one reality. And how come to realize that, which is quite different from now? We learn about the six doorways, the five doorways, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and the sixth one, thinking. Only one doorway is light. So are we now living in the world of ultimate truth, or the world of that which is light, because its light is seen all day, while the other reality, the object which is experienced, is not light, it is in darkness. So when Panya realizes the truth, be true to the truth from the very beginning, the first round of the Four Noble Truths, of the Four Ariya Satya. The fourth one is the path, right understanding. So keen, so sharp, so clear, enough not to go wrong. In truth, the world does not appear as it is. What does it mean? Only a speck of light, and the other moment, dark. Is it true? So the world does not appear as it is, so there cannot be clear understanding of any reality, which arise, it seems like, together all day. Now at moment of talking, thinking, speaking, they seeing all the time. It seems like that way. But in truth, just a speck of light. And that is so clear because the other doorway must be dark.
Panachan, you just said the world does not appear as it is, and I think this relates to a question I wanted to ask just before this about uh, what we understand by appear. I think that appear, to understand what appears now, is also understanding. Only understanding can understand what appears, and there must be sati, of course. But even the idea of what appears now is something that is very deep and not easy to understand, because I remember earlier in this discussion, um, Prakash was saying that what appears now is people and things, but that's not even true, because people and things are concepts and they don't appear. At that moment, there's thinking, and thinking can appear, or the attachment, the aversion, whatever that arises with it, that can appear, but the concepts don't appear. So appear, also to understand what appears, even the meaning of appear, is very deep.
It's our idea talking about this moment, like this and that and on and on. But we are talking to understand Dhamma. We don't talk about the word, sati, and so on. We don't talk about anything yet. Just talk about the main difference between what are there in life or in the world. Because there must be a reality which arises and experiences the object. We don't talk about sati or other reality yet. We just talk about the nature of the reality, which cannot be taken for anyone, because it's only that which arises to experience the object, to have firm confidence. Why is not I? Why is not anyone? Why is not such and such? Because it's only one reality. We're talking about one by one. One reality arises to experience the object.
But then,
one
Ajahn,
by one.
this we are understanding only by way of words, that there is
So
only
now,
one reality.
if we don't use the word, we cannot understand the difference. We are talking about the one which arises and experiences the object. We don't talk about the other reality which also arises. We use the word sati and lopa and dosa. We begin again and again to have firm confidence, to understand, begin to attend to the reality which experience the object, which is different from the reality which cannot experience the object. So now we talk about citta, but we don't use the word citta yet. We just talk about a reality arises and experience the object. It is not sati.
Sukin, for example, now, whether or not we've heard the Buddha's teachings, visible object, light, appears, but it's covered up by ignorance. It's not known, but still it is light. It is what is visible that is appearing. And it is seeing which sees, even though it's not understood. But still it is the reality of seeing which sees, but it doesn't appear because it's color, it's light that is
Right. That's what
appearing
I'm
now.
saying.
So even without
It does not
understanding, it's
appear.
still appearing.
It does not appear. I mean, we can appreciate the difference intellectually, that seeing is not visible object, or visible object is not sound. We can appreciate intellectually, but do we actually know
Whether there's
that?
any knowing or not, whether there's any sati or panya or not, still at this very moment of seeing what is visible, the light appears right now. So that's why we don't have to think about the understanding or the sati now, because still it is what is light appearing for that instant, for that moment of seeing, just like at a moment of hearing, sound appears. It's a reality that appears at that instant and then
Right.
gone.
So this word appear, we think we understand, but do we? It is appearing. What does it mean, appearing? Because the moment we there's any attention to it, it's at that moment is just thinking.
That's right. And moment of thinking, no light
And the
appears,
thinking
no
does not
sound
appear.
appears.
And the thinking does not appear. So
Right,
there's
because it's
really,
the thinking is thinking about the object. So at
yeah,
the moment of thinking, no reality appears, even though it seems that light appears, it seems that sounds appears, but they're not at that moment. So we begin to learn when sound is heard, when it appears, when light appears, when it is seen, just for that instant, that split
no.
moment.
And what I'm saying is that we are only learning at this stage to know intellectually what it means to appear.
I think we're learning about what the world is right now at the moment of
Yeah,
seeing. What is the
but
world?
even
It's
when
just
we even
what
when
is
we
visible. It
even
doesn't
when we
really.
hear, yeah, but even when we hear that it appears, like visible object appear, and we appreciate that, yes, a visible object appears, at that moment is just thinking, the idea of appearing as against that. A person does not appear, things don't appear, visible object appear. Even the idea of visible object is just a concept. That's what I mean.
Whether there's any understanding or not at any level, conceptual or otherwise, it's still visible object appearing at this moment. So what is true, regardless of whether there's
Yeah, and
understanding
that's
or
just
not.
yeah.
That's
So
the point.
it's a concept. Our level of understanding is only
It
beginning, just
it's not.
beginning. We are having the
It's not what
concept
is.
of the difference between concept and reality, the concept of concept, the concept of reality. That's where we are at.
This is lost in the world of stories about it, about concepts, whereas Ajahn is talking about what is real at this moment. moment.
Well, yeah, even now, even when now talking about what's real now, it's
So
just thinking about what is real.
to think about, well, this is only a concept of it's the truth, regardless of whether whatever thinking follows it. But at the moment of seeing what is true, it is the world. It is what is light. It's not a concept.
Yeah, even when we say
Different
it's
from
true,
moments of thinking about it.
What the reference is to the idea of that truth. The idea of that truth. That's what I'm saying. It's still there. It's just at that level. The idea of and that's the beginning. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's the beginning, and that's where I'm just pointing at what level we actually are.
But that's all the story of I and me, and like when Anne said, "Oh, we think we have understanding to learn that we don't." But it's never my understanding, then or now. It's never my thinking. What is the world now is the world now, regardless
Even
of
that is that
any ideas.
Is that really understanding that is more than just intellectual?
Do we
just
have
thinking
to
about reality? Yeah, no, I'm
to
not saying we
think?
have to. I'm just trying to point out exactly where we are at.
But that's all where
Even
I
the
am
word
at, where
appear,
my
that's
understanding
Sarah,
at. That's
Sarah,
not the understanding of just the light now, the reality at this moment.
Sarah, I think what Sukin is pointing out and what you're pointing out to him, he understands that. He was just trying to get a bit of clarity about a point that it was a bit obscure to him. You know, what you seem to be pointing out to him, I think he's totally aware of. So I wonder where this is going. I would actually like to hear what Tana Jan says on this matter.
I think I understand what Sarah is saying. It's usually we end up with the story of my experience, and we are referring to what my experience
That's the
is.
point.
And in spite of there having been arisen some understanding, we're still having doubt. Doubt has arisen, and we are having all these sort of questions.
And the
I
doubt is
understand
the
that
reality.
Yeah.
The
You're
doubt
aware
is
of
what
that.
is appearing.
Sukin, you're aware of that though, surely.
Oh, yes. But what Sarah is saying, I'm not aware of that all the time, that's for sure. And I think that's what Sarah is reminding me. Of course, even in between, as I was saying earlier, even in these discussions, there's so much ignorance and attachment, and the idea that the impression that there's understanding when there is not. So Sarah is right in reminding me, and I'm sure that it's because of my own ignorance I cannot see that that's what's happening, and Sarah can, to some extent, detect that, and is pointing, just reminding me about it. So I'm sure about that. But I still am at this because the word appear. I've been thinking about it a long time. That even to understand this appear, that's why I gave the example of Prakash in the beginning. He said, what appears now is people and things. And that's not true, because people and things never appear. Yet we do get this impression all the time that right now the chair is appearing. So do we really understand what Achan means when she says what appears now?
Yes, that's what seems to appear because of ignorance. It seems there are chairs and people and things appearing, and there is for sure thinking about people and chairs. But what is actually appearing right now at the moment of seeing is just the light, just what is visible.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying even the word appear is so deep. It's not easy.
That's right. And that's why Ajahn was referring to the world now, that which appears is the reality right now.
Right. And that's what's covered up by ignorance. And I think
yes, that's what isn't known when this.
Right. The understanding, the recognition of that, that is understanding. Understanding at a fairly low level.
It's the beginning, and that's good enough. I'm saying,
yeah,
it's the beginning.
Yeah, it's not direct understanding, but it's it's correct intellectual of an understanding of something for which there is yet no direct understanding, but it's a basis for it.
Can I just add a brief word? I think when the question "what appears now" is asked, it has to be asking what seems to appear, because realities are not going to be appearing, because they can't, except to understanding.
Exactly.
So I'm not quite sure that the discussion is really going in quite the right direction.
But on the other hand, John, there can be some appreciation, even intellectually, that at the time of hearing, sound appears. At the time of seeing, visible object appears. So at that level, there is also this understanding that these two are different realities.
Yes, and sometimes it appears from how the discussion proceeds that the questioner is asking what seems to appear, and sometimes the questioner is asking what is actually appearing, and the listener doesn't know which way the question is being asked at the time. So
I think that's what's happening.
It can be taken either way.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong answer to that question, it seems to me.
I think that's what was happening earlier. I'm not sensing that. I won't say anymore.
Hannah-chan, please help us.
I think that each word we are talking about is just to have a little more understanding, not just follow the words that it seems like there is the understanding enough, but in truth, not at all. We just learn the word that seeing, see, that is seeing, and we use the term seeing for see, and we know that it's a reality which experiences the object. Is that enough? Is that the understanding of seeing? That's why to talk about it, to learn to understand the truth of it a little more. Because in a day, we don't talk about seeing, we talk about other things. And when we talk about reality, we think about what we have heard, like sati and panya and so on. But what about the nama? Is there enough confidence of the truth of nama? Otherwise, nothing can wear away the clinging to the idea of I or something. That's why if we just keep on talking about other things like sati and viriya and so on, what about nama right now? To understand seeing, because seeing is there. We don't have to go somewhere to find, to look for it. It's there right now. So how much understanding of seeing as a Dhamma, as anatta? Otherwise we think we understand. Why not? Because seeing is not that which is seen. And that which is seen does not experience anything. And seeing sees it. Is that enough? To get closer to the nature of the reality which experiences the object. Even we don't use the word nama. The reality which experiences the object. Should it be studied a little more about the reality which experiences the object? Nothing can arise with it as rupa, no smell, no hardness, softness. Imagine that pure nature of seeing, of the reality, which is not rupa at all. The rupa cannot get in or arise with it at all. The reality which experiences the object, no shape, no form. Usually, when we think of something, we think in shape or form. But that is the reality which sees. If this is enough, it's not the first round of Ariya Satya, because it cannot condition awareness, direct awareness, with understanding of what is there right now at all. That's why the first round is the first round of Ariya Satya. Learn to understand the way the world does not appear as it is. So that must be vipassana, the only level of panya, which can experience the truth. And if we don't learn about the truth, the ultimate truth, as it is, how can it get closer to experience the truth of the seeing? It's not that which is seen. And understanding the reality which arises and experience, it has to be in darkness because it's not light. It's not that which is seen at all. So begin to understand how deep and subtle the reality is covered up by ignorance and attachment, no thought about it, to get closer to it, to know that the seeing is a reality which arises and see. And little by little we learn that that is the chief of experiencing, because there must be other condition, the Dhamma, which arises together. See, little by little, better than just learn all the word about Cetasikas and don't know whether it's now Sati or not, or what moment is Kusala or Akusala, or what is there. Just all in book. But all are here and now, not far away, just from head to toe. Learn to understand the truth that is so very deep. We just learned the first round about Nama, no shape and form, but learn to understand that the world appears as it's seen as light only one doorway, and only one moment of citta, experience it, see it. The other moment also experience that, but they do not see. Only one moment of citta see. And learn to understand what is the chief of experiencing, which is hidden today. It does not appear, and if we don't talk about it, it's forgotten. But what about Chitta-nupassana Satipatthana? Dhamma cannot appear to be as clear as the third round without now understanding that which sees. See, that's why study Dhamma is not remember the word, the explanation, the definition, the description, but the reality here, to understand the nature of it. For example, the reality which experiences the object. At moment of touching, hardness appear. Without touching, can hardness appear? So the world depends on that which experiences the citta.
So Thanachan, there is, even at this level, intellectual level, some understanding of difference between what is experienced and what experiences. Even though when you describe, for example, seeing that it's only one moment that is light, the rest is in darkness. It's not going to appear like that until vipassana yana. But that does not mean that there is no understanding of difference between that which experience and that which does not experience. There is some understanding from the beginning, isn't it?
So now, how much understanding of that which is seen as not a
Uh,
table, a flower?
a little bit, but it's not like when you describe it's dark in darkness, but there can be some understanding. Very little, very little.
That's why be true to the truth. Is there now understanding the nature of that which is seen as not a table or a chair? of people and things?
Very little intellectually, just
And how
intellectually.
can it be? And how can it be more? Even just a little more.
Yes, that needs to be more listening, more considering, a lot more.
That's why even thinking about that which cannot experience the object is not enough, or that which experiences the object is not enough at all. That's why don't underestimate the very subtle with the world, the reality, beyond imagination. Just learn to be true to the truth, such a barami. So very important, never change at all. Dhamma, see, the nature of each Dhamma never changes, not atta at all. Just that which is conditioned to arise to experience, or that which arises but does not experience the object. And we learn a little more, little by little, about that which can be known today or any time from now on. It's not only right understanding which experience the object, stronger or keener or sharper. It needs more conditions. So we learn about other reality which experiences the object, but different from that which is achieved, the citta, the hidden one. To understand the path leading to understand seeing, not just it's a reality, it experience that which is seen. That is just thinking. That's why the first round is so very important too, to condition the second round of Riya Satya. That's why we learn little by little what are the second round. What Cetasikas, not just the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. So we learn about Citta, the chief of experiencing, and the other mental factors, Cetasikas, arising together to be different conditions for Citta to arise. So very subtle, understanding a little more that is so very subtle is the only way to letting go, wearing away the idea of self and ignorance and attachment. That's why even just one word, we can talk about it. The Nama, the Nama Dhamma. See how much we know now. Not just remembering about the term and the function and the characteristic and not forget it to talk about it, but to understand whether it's there now. Otherwise, it's not known. Even we talk about sati, we don't understand the nama dhamma as that which is achieved, the seeing and hearing yet. So, what about the other mental factor, the cetasika, which is different from citta, and the other function and condition for each moment gradually before it can wear away the wrong understanding conditioned by ignorance and attachment. That's why if we don't talk about seeing right now, is there any way to get closer to realize the true nature of seeing or any namadhamma?
Yes, that's the key, Tanachan. To understand any reality, it must start with seeing, because seeing is happening. And yes, if there's no understanding of seeing, there's no understanding of anything.
So now, be true to the truth is the understanding of seeing a little more, or not yet, even how many times we talk about it, according to accumulation, ignorance, and attachment to seeing, years and years ago. Dhamma works its way. right understanding itself works its way, no one at all. And what right understanding understand? Seeing right now, that which is seen right now, little by little. And other reality, when it's there, little by little. Attachment, aversion, pride, prejudice, and so on. Learn to understand the nature, the truth of each reality, to understand a little more, to be the first round, no doubt, about the way Dhamma is, and the Dhamma does not appear as it is yet. Even we say, seeing sees, no, not enough understanding of seeing to realize it, because it's so deep, the reality which experiences the object, because even the object does not appear as it is. So what about that? Which is the Nama, no shape, no form, no smell, to be touched, to be smelled, just to understand the nature of that which experiences the object. If we don't talk about it, no condition to think about it, no condition to carefully consider it. That is so deep, the innermost, all day. So when seeing is a Nama, it can be understood little by little, get closer and closer to realize the nature of Nama. No matter seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, so close from head to toe. So if there's no understanding of what is there now in daily life from moment to moment, it's not studying Dhamma, it's not studying, it's not understanding the truth of what we heard.
And Sukhina, moments of understanding what is real, what appears, then no thinking about, well, it's not really much understanding or it's only a beginning. And anyway, what does it mean about appear? And it's really just thinking about concepts. I think a lot of these stories about I and my little understanding hinder the development of just understanding right now what appears, what
actually,
is true
what I
now.
was, the reason I brought it up is that if that's my problem, then it's everybody's problem. So it was just to help anyone who can appreciate that, because, like I said, the little understanding does not know that it's just little. Or even it's so hard for any understanding to arise, and it's so rare that much of the time what's taken for understanding is not really understanding. So I think it helps to even
That's true. But when it's all the thinking about I and my little understanding, then that's the wrong path. It's not.
It's always
the
it always
appreciation
comes in, and so it's
and the doubt and was this understanding not. It's all about me.
It's
and
always good to hear, be reminded about that. It's always good. Thanks.
So it's always, that's why it's always back to the world right now, just understanding what appears now, no matter visible object, no matter doubt, no matter thinking. And the stories are unimportant. It's just moments of thinking, each one gone. Yeah. But good points. So visible object appears, but it's covered up all the time.
Prakash, I think now, after what you've heard for a couple of 3 months, you have begun to appreciate that this is the path, the 3 rounds of understanding the Four Noble Truths. And therefore, any idea that you can do something like pay deliberate attention to the moment by sitting in some place, quiet place, that must be wrong understanding, very wrong understanding. And it's the opposite of the right path.
Yeah. Very deep. Very, very deep.
So, do you know the Buddha? Who's
Maybe
the
very
Buddha?
little. Very, very little.
Very
See,
little, Prakash, very little. Today, when Achan was talking about uh, earlier about what was it? Anyway, about realities, and our attention is always is never to understand the moment, even after hearing the Dhamma. But the Buddha, the Mahabodhisattva, was different. He was not concerned about people and things. Even as a Bodhisattva, he was not trying to. He was trying to understand the nature of reality. His attention was not, even though there was no, he was not enlightened, he did not understand seeing as seeing, but that a person sees, that a being sees, his attention was to understand the seeing, not the person. So even as a bodhisattva, we can say how big difference is. Ajahn was talking about some people, different accumulations. Some people are interested in understanding the truth, some are not. But the Bodhisattva was special. He was not just having different accumulation as in like you and me, but he was very, very, very special. Very, very.
Okay, the only way is understand whatever is little possible, what appears now. That is the path.
And that's
Can
the only
we?
way to understand what is Buddha,
Yes.
understanding of the realities. And I think as a bodhisattva, we can't say there was no understanding of seeing or hearing, but not the clear enough understanding to become enlightened
No, there was
before
Chintamaya Panya. When we
that.
say there's the Chintamaya Panya of the Bodhisattva, it shows his interest in the right objects, but he wouldn't be have understood as a Dhamma. He would have understood.
I don't think we can say that. There can be understanding of understanding, but not the clear understanding of vipassana jnana understanding, because satipatthana has to develop for a long time until it's firm enough before it can be nama rupa vipassana jnana. Yes, so we can't say no understanding.
Right,
Yes,
right. But I'm thinking about during those lifetimes when he did not hear the Dhamma, and so at those times he wouldn't have thought about Dhamma as Dhamma. He would have had right understanding at the level of his Chintamaya Pandya, which is different from the Chintamaya Pandya that we have now, which is after hearing the Dhamma.
so today a little more understanding developed from moment to moment. That's why Khanti Parami and Viriya Parami, it must be so very great. Otherwise, there can never be a little more, just a little more understanding of what is there right now. Is that true? Just a little more understanding of what is there right now is the test of one's understanding. So now it's time to say สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you.